And if any of the children would like to come up and join me for the intergenerational homily, we have a special guest, Anne, who's going to read us a special Earth Day story. So come on up if you want to come and hear the story.
Let's hope this works. Okay, good. Hello, good morning. I have a story for you today, and it's called, Who is King of the World? A plant and an animal lived together in a place that was all their own. And the plant thrust its roots down into the moist earth, and its stems up into the sky, into the warm air. And the plant gave forth fruit, and the animal lived on this fruit. Well, this the plant did not mind, because it wanted its fruit to be eaten. And they lived together very well for a long time. But one day, the animal fell to thinking that it was far superior, that it was better than the plant. This plant does not pay me due respect, it said to itself. I'm much better than it because I can move around, I can jump and play, but this plant is just rooted to the earth. So the animal announced to the plant, henceforth when I come near you, I want you to lay your stems down on the ground out of respect for me. Because it's plain to see that I am far better than you, and I am the ruler of this world. Well, the plant was not a quarrelsome sort, and was willing to let the animal think it was superior, but to lay its stems down on the ground was a hard and unnatural thing for it to do. And so it said to itself, the only thing that can make my stems lay down on the ground is a strong wind. Now this animal is a blowhard. Do you know what a blowhard is? A boaster. This animal is a boaster. This animal is a blowhard, but it is not a strong wind. And so the plant kept its stems going up to the sky. Well, when the animal saw this, it was furious. It flew into a rage, and it bared its teeth, and it flexed its claws, and it let out a roar. Well, the plant paid no heed. And when the animal saw that the plant was not taking any notice, it flew. It flew at the plant, and it tore it to shreds. It jumped on the plant, it broke the branches, it ripped the leaves, and before you knew it, there were just tatters on the ground. The animal felt so proud, and it strutted back and forth, very proud of its power and its dominion. And when it went to sleep that night, it dreamt dreams of contentment and power. Well, when it woke up the next morning, what do you think? It had what? The animal was, what do you expect in the morning when you get up? What do you have in the morning when you get up? Breakfast, right? So the animal got up and was hungry. And it went over to where it usually gets its food. But what did it find? Tatters on the ground, nothing there. Well, the animal paced up and down, rather worried, but eventually it sat down on its haunches and it said, I have made a grave mistake. And it began to cry, and it wept big tears all over the plant. But of course, underneath the ground, the roots of the plant were still there. And when the roots felt the warm tears coming down through the ground, they started to send up shoots. And the shoots became stems, and the stems gave forth leaves, and then flowers. And what comes after flowers? Yeah, the plant has fruit. But of course, this took many days. And what do you think the animal looked like by this time? Pretty thin. It was just a bag of bones. And so weak, it couldn't even raise its head off the ground. But the plant had lots of fruit and was able to hold down the fruit so that the animal could lift its head and eat the fruit. Well, when the animal had eaten and felt new life coursing through its emaciated frame, it realized how generous the plant had been to give its fruit, even though the plant had just the animal had just torn it up. And then the animal said, I realize now, I had the power to take life, but that is very little compared to the power to give life. And that's the end of my story. Thank you for listening. And I hope you'll draw some pictures of what you think the animal might look like and the plant.
For those of us who want to go to Children's Chapel, any children and parents and grandparents are welcome to join us. We're going to go to chapel and talk more about plants and animals and all of God's creation. So anyone, you can follow us to Children's Chapel.